If it is not possible to converge closer, people disperse further. Through the paradise of vice, you reach the hell of virtue. First impressions are always unreliable. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. There are two cardinal sins from which all others spring: impatience and laziness. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. Life, all the time, distracts our attention, and we do not even have time to notice from what exactly. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. It is not difficult to love the ones who leave. By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. The first sign of the beginning of knowledge is the desire to die. Books are a narcotic. All language is but a poor translation. Only people afflicted with the same disease understand each other. The meaning of life is that it stops. And man's struggle against the world bet on the world. With the real enemy, boundless courage is instilled in you. Convulsive gaiety is much sadder than openly expressed sadness. He is terribly afraid of dying because he hasn't yet lived. Faith is the axe of the guillotine, just as heavy, just as light. I have the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. Since it couldn't get any worse, it got better. Paths are made by walking. When a woman shares her problems with you, most likely she does not complain. She trusts you. Kindness is, in a sense, desolate. Don't waste time looking for obstacles. They may not exist. Women are traps which lie in wait for men everywhere in order to drag them down into the finite. It is much easier to oppress your neighbor if you know nothing about him. Conscience then does not torment. A thought expressed aloud immediately and completely loses its meaning. Written down, it also always loses it, but sometimes it acquires a new meaning. What we call evil is only an inevitability in our endless development. The more you trust a person, the more he is seducing you. Anyone looking for evidence of infidelity hopes not to find it. One of the most effective temptations of evil is the call to fight. Don't marry the one you love, but marry the one who loves you. They lie the least when they lie the least, not when they have the least reason to lie. The older a person gets, the more his horizons expand, and life opportunities are getting smaller and smaller. The truth path goes along a rope that is not stretched high, but above the earth itself. It seems to be designed more to be tripped over than to be walked on. Just think how many thoughts a blanket smothers while one lies alone in bed, and how many unhappy dreams it keeps warm. What is possible and tolerable for the four of us is impossible and intolerable for this fifth. Besides, there are four of us, and we don't want five of us. From a certain point onward, there is no longer any turning back. It is the point that must be reached. The spirit becomes free only when it ceases to be a support. Theoretically, there is the fullest possibility of happiness, to believe in something indestructible in oneself and not strive for it. The book should be an ice pick for the frozen sea within us. Man has long refused to participate in the creation of the world and responsibility for it. There is often a painful discrepancy between worldview and reality. Everything, including lies, serves the truth. The path from the head to the pen is much longer and more difficult than the path from the head to the tongue. Pay no attention to anyone. Do what you think is right. There is no need to leave the house. Stay at your desk and listen. Don't even listen. Wait. Don't even wait. Be still and alone, and the world will open to you. It cannot otherwise. It is impossible to make excuses when they do not want to believe you. Only people affected by the same ailment understand each other. Nobody can give more than the one who has lost everything. He who has cognized the fullness of life does not know the fear of death. The fear of death is only the result of an unfulfilled life. Thoughts that are spoken out loud immediately and finally lose their meaning.